Hello and welcome back. I know it's been a while since I've made a video. I'm wanting to make more. But in today's video I'm just basically doing a bake with me kind of video, really. I've been doing a fair bit of baking the last few days, especially now that since it's coming towards the end of quarantine. So in this video I'm making bread, like just standard white bread. This is the second time me making white bread, so if the first time kind of went well but didn't, it came out a little more dense than it should have. There's a few factors when I made bread the first time that probably would have signaled, I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, this is me making bread for the second time, and that's me adding the yeast to the flour. But yeah, I've always enjoyed baking, since high school really. I haven't really baked in just over a year. I think coming up to a year and a half up until this point. The last thing I remember making was a cake for a fundraiser that I'd done a year and a half ago for Christmas. It was pretty much the last thing I remember baking. I haven't really baked since then up until now. Recently I'd make chocolate cookies or chocolate chip cookies, and let me tell you, they were really, really delicious. The recipe that I used was a Jamie Oliver recipe, so and the recipe said I would make about 20 cookies. I made about 17, and I may have had a few too many after baking them. And to be fair, they were really nice, and I actually would make the recipe again. I would like to try a vegan version of the cookies, or veganize it at some point, because it's I just love the recipe, but I also want to become more plant-based as well, so I don't know how that's going to be. Yeah, with bread, I remember having this conversation with my mum a while back about making bread. I've been meaning to do it ever since then, but because of uni and stuff, it's just I never actually got around to doing it. And this is also now that I've finished uni and quarantine's a thing, might as well. But yeah, I've been wanting to get back into baking for a while, but just never actually got around to doing it. But now since I finished third year uni, now being in the house a lot more, it just makes it a bit easier now. I can actually, do stuff. And it also kind of keeps me busy along with doing stuff, since it's also Ramadan. And Ramadan's a lot within itself, especially now since everybody's in quarantine and you can't technically go out and do stuff, which is starting to drive me up the wall a little bit in terms of I know the benefit to it is it flattens the curve and reduces the amount of cases and stuff like that, but I keep saying this to everybody as well, friends and stuff like that, because I'm such an introvert. I'm so used to being inside of my own for a day or two, but being inside for 6 weeks now. It's coming towards the end of the 6 weeks anyway by the time this is posted, or it's after the 6 weeks. But yeah, it's nice in its own way instead of being inside and stuff like that. But it's been sunny. For anyone who's living in the UK and specifically Scotland, it's been sunny, really good weather. I mean we've had a couple of rainy days and cloudy days, but other than that, it's been sunny. And all I want to do is just drive around and go to the beach and just sit and do stuff, but we can't. And I know I'm sounding quite whiny about this, but I'm pretty sure there's other people on a similar ledge, or I know more reasons. I know in terms of everything, it's getting there. I know the curve is coming down. It's not as bad as it was a couple weeks ago after the initial 3 weeks. But yeah, that's going good. When I was making bread the first time, back to the bread, and when I was making bread the first time, my kneading was really bad. And I remember, like, I think that's part of why I made bread the first time round. It wasn't as good. I mean, it didn't rise fully, but I was kind of like fumbling around with it. It wasn't until like now what you're seeing in this current clip that the kneading was a lot better, let's just say. But yeah, because I did alternate between like flour and using the oil to kind of have the surface not sticky when kneading it out, because I think that was every baker's issue is dough sticking to the counter and having to like constantly put flour or constantly put oil or something, one of the two, to not have the dough stick to the counter, which is annoying within itself. Okay, now you can see me putting some oil in a bowl. In the recipe that I was following, it said to grease like a separate bowl with oil, and also you can see the brush. I just found it easier to use the brush to oil the bowl and everything. But yeah. Oh, I put a bit too much oil in the bowl, so I poured some out into the sink, hence why you saw me just do that. I just found the brush to be easier to use when oiling the bowl. For the bread, to put the bread into then prove, it just says to do that. I'm guessing so the bread doesn't stick to the bowl when it's proving, so... And also, it does prove quite a bit. The tissue paper, again, even though I poured some oil out, I still felt like I put a lot in it, so I just took the tissue paper to wipe some excess oil in, and that's me putting the bread in the bowl. Or fiddling with it, then putting it in the bowl, and then letting it to prove. Also, I had some slight issues with this video in particular. I filmed it also the first time, the bread didn't turn out how I wanted it to be, so I deleted the footage to that because I wanted to film it a second time. But this current footage, after I imported it into my editing software, the audio wasn't working, the audio was non-existent. And like every so often, my SD card will go, whenever I plug it into the computer, it'll go, your SD card needs to be scanned. I don't remember what it says, but something along those lines, like there's an issue with the SD card, you need to scan it. And because I didn't do it at the time, I just skipped over it. So I'm guessing because of that, I kind of messed up with the audio. So hence why I'm doing the voiceover. I was planning to do a voiceover at some point anyway. But yeah, that's the current situation with it. Okay, this is after the second proving. As you can see, it has risen again quite well. In the last clip, you didn't see the ring of parchment paper that I put underneath it, mainly because after I'd filmed it, after I filmed that clip, my mum said, put parchment paper underneath it so when you transfer the bread onto the tray, you don't have to fiddle around with the whole, like, having to peel it from the plate and then mess with the shape and then put it onto the tray. So yeah, and as you can just see now, I'm putting flour, on top of it just to kind of dust it and then do the whole like shape cutting thing. And there we have it, a white loaf of bread. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I very much enjoyed making this bread, and I'll see you in the next one.